that starts to show off who has got a better grip on the game. Trundle banned away by Vitality, and the quick Olaf ban. We've seen the damage potential it's brought, and Cabochard will not get his hands on it this game.
Yep, definitely so. Getting some of these stronger top lane picks out of the equation, very important here. Because both these top laners can carry individually, so it is just much harder for them to do that in a team game, because they seem to have issues slotting in and really getting it to work.
They take away the Rek'Sai as the first pickup against Move. It's definitely been more of a preference, but we've seen a number of other solid junglers as well. But just Move, we expected, I think, maybe I was a little bit overbiased on this because I really expected a bit more out of him coming into the split.
Yeah, but Pyra, it's because he did well in NA.
I know,
but
well, yeah,
to the proving grounds here in Europe, the superior region.
Yeah, well, you know.
Nope, not anymore though, sadly.
Yeah.
We can joke about that all we want, maybe.
We lost our pool 1 seed. We can't really talk anymore, can we?
2015 after MSI, and definitely not after the level that some of these teams that bootcamped in Korea over in North America have displayed. The whole EU versus NA battle is easily decided on the side of our North American.
For now.
For now.
But I might have misspoke a little bit when I talked about jungles maybe only being somewhat hit, because instantly 3 smackdown jungle bans, 4 total. So
actually
Rek'Sai,
5 if you consider that speaking of North America, Rainhover from Immortals definitely played at Olaf jungle, and it's being played a lot in solo queue right now too by multiple LCS players. So 5 jungle bans here. Even Nukeduck's like, yeah, is there another jungle champion? I don't know. It's a little lost.
They're gonna have to dip a little deeper.
And it's not even his problem. It's this guy. He has to find his jungler. Nukeduck is just trying to help him. Like, what do we pick, guys?
I mean, did they first pick at this point? Gragas is still up. That's like your next tier that you're going to want to look at, but it does tunnel you into a specific comp, and with the timer ticking down, that is what they elect to take.
Yeah, the game read here by Pyra.
What did they do at top lane, maybe?
Yeah,
we've seen so much. Cabochard, man, I mean.
Bring out the Graves here. That's plenty of junglers left.
Yeah.
So they're lower on the tier. I mean, worst case, you start delving into the Skarners and the Rek'Sais and the Rengars of the Rift.
Oh, God. We have seen the Ryze get left through here, so it seems like it's kind of a no-brainer to be picked up because of just how much teams are still prioritizing it.
I mean, the no-brainer here would be Vladimir, in my opinion. Well, Ryze lane's decent into him. I don't know, man. If I see Vladimir, you take Vladimir. I think that should always be your choice.
And the Swain is up, too. I mean, everything in the mid lane has been untouched. So it still ticks down away, and it looks like the Ryze will be that choice, followed by the Nami, who was started to be quite prioritized on 6.11 as well. Hylissang will get his hands on that mermaid.
Yeah, very peculiar draft here by Unicorns. I want to see what they build it in before I start condemning it too much. Let's see if they have a goal in mind or just picking comfort picks. What is Vitality going to do? I'm actually curious about this Ryze Vladimir matchup, because both these champions are eating so many bans. It's hard to see it played out multiple times. And that's something we need to consider. Like, if you see a matchup played out, you always need to look at kind of some of the patterns that get the matchup swung in either direction, rather than just saying, oh, I saw it once, this guy won, right? Because if you look at Vladimir versus Anivia, for example, many people considered it, you know, on the edge of Anivia, and then Bjergsen came out and just dumpstered his opponent with the Vladimir. Pobelter came out and said, you know what, I only played against bad Vladimirs. Turns out Vladimir's pretty decent in this matchup. And until we see Faker play both sides, we can't really judge.
Yeah, he's pretty much the gold standard, or I guess in this case, the KR Challenger standard for just about everything else. Caitlyn, of course, since all the AD carries left untouched, that gets locked in for Vitality, for Police, and Cabochard gets his hands on Irelia. Unicorns of Love still thinking about what they want to go towards, and they do grab the Kha'Zix as well as a Sivir. So we've so far really just been seeing Spirit be a beast on that champion. He moved away from it today, but this is definitely a bit more binary.
Yeah, since this Ryze is definitely going mid lane here for the Unicorns. I doubt Vizicsacsi is going to switch it to the top lane. Vitality could just pick whatever they want. Have a safer lane against it if they don't want to risk the Vlad. Maybe just go for like an easy Viktor, you know, wave clear pressure, whatever, and then allow them to play on their 2 strong side lanes. With Caitlyn and any support, they are favorable to win the Sivir matchup. And with Irelia in the top lane supported by Gragas, they can win nearly every 2v2 over there.
Yeah, Vitality definitely looking to have some strong lanes this game. The Viktor's locked in the Janna, so Caitlyn, Janna, very bullying lane, even into a Sivir that can stop up some traps. It's still dangerous.
Yeah, it lacks a bit of the sustain here that the Nami brings out, so you need to be very wary of your trade windows. You only want to trade with shield. But if you're playing into a melee support, wait, is this Shen support?
Oh,
top. No, Nami support. If you play, my brain is lagging. If you're
okay, caught up a few seconds.
If you're playing into like a very short range AD carry, Caitlyn can still outbully that. The only way they get truly behind is if Sivir gets the continued push in the bot lane. I think Unicorns would definitely fare well here from a lane swap, because they kind of identified that they couldn't kind of Deal and win top lane, I think super hard. Shen is a decent matchup into Irelia, but I think they should still look for a lane swap here.
That makes a lot of sense, but Vitality might be trying to stop that one before it even all starts. A lot of global pressure on the side of Unicorns, though. The double TPs and, of course, Shen stand united.
Yeah.
Vitality, they still have a little bit of time to change it up, but they don't have a single teleport on their side just yet.
I think Shen actually beats Irelia harder in a lane swap. Like, if you go, everybody else around you is higher level and more experienced, you know, and you have to rely more on your base stats, and Irelia can't snowball. I think that's the preferential matchup here for the Shen. Also more global impact, you know, an additional teleport built into your kit.
Those Sheepy and Sean's shake hands. Try saying that a few times fast on stage. We'll have to find out if Vitality or Unicorns are going to be ones to claw their way up into the standings. If you think Vitality are going to be the ones to do it, hashtag VIT win. And if you think the Unicorns of Love will be the ones charging them down in game number 1, hashtag UOL win to start this game off. All the jungle bans, we've been seeing the teams shift into slightly different game modes here. Vitality looking for that standard lane. Unicorns looking for the lane swap. Predicted there. We'll see if that's what comes out as we load up onto Summoner's Rift to start game number 1 between Vitality and the Unicorns of Love.
So far, Pyra?
We got a couple seconds. Well, what can I get out of it? Quick, analyst mode.
Analyst mode. That's
they're running
Kha'Zix,
out of
that's
base.
Sivir, and that's the support Nami. Definitely not support Shen.
Yes.
Although Shen truly is also a support, you know, in essence, and that's obviously what we meant there.
Yeah, of course. No, once you hit 6, you know, you've got basically a 3v2 in that bottom lane. But right now, there's really no change. Unicorns haven't looked for it early, unless they're trying to suss out if Vitality are going to be trying to mind game them on a swap.
I mean, you can play these lanes. They're definitely doable. Shen used to be one of the preferred picks, especially with Dorans into Irelia. I just think a well-played, a well-oiled Janna Caitlyn machine can bully the Sivir Nami.
Question is, do Police and KaSing have that kind of synergy? We've seen them swap AD carries not once but twice now. They used Raya last week, but they're starting with Police. Does that not speak to... I mean, there's two sides of the coin. Does that not speak to maybe them not having confidence in either of their AD carries?
Oh, they're definitely looking for their footing. I don't think we have to guess about that. It's not that Police magically became the player they wanted him to be, you know, in these weeks. It's just that they're looking to see who fits better, and they want to keep trying both, give stage experience to both these players, and look at the progression, because the base level wasn't good enough. Right now, Vitality have found matching lanes. So they kind of get their Irelia in a lane where she gets access to more CS, and we can finally be the judge of this laning phase 2. Also, this is a good start for Vitality, because now Nami and Sivir are zoned away from the lane, and look at what's about to happen here. This is going to remove any expectations here. Auto Q, shield.
And even more, they get the exhaust. This might even force the flash. Summoner heal!
Double
They keep
flash,
going
kill.
forward, and womp womp. That's first blood. The Police.
Womp, womp, womp. KaSing also just starting with the W here. Zephyr, good base damage here and just slows, you know. So no shield came out of Police, so that's why we didn't see the whole big damage spike at the start of the trade. But that's why Sivir was so slow at escaping there, and Nami can't really peel very well there if your, you know, defensive steroids get flashed. And this is such a rough lane right now. This is such a game-deciding play. While it looked a little comical, there's so little they can do here to slow, and Hylissang too. Bubble gets sidestepped. Q misses on a slow target, but we'll give him points for effort.
Now we can just slow freeze on Police, getting so much more time with this minion wave, and Veritas just getting back to lane. He can still be zoned off a little bit of this farm, actually, with the level 1. W, he's got a little bit to grab it back. It's kind of hard to stop a Sivir from farming, if I'm honest.
Yeah, a ricochet rather. Just jumping one to the other.
Still, very threatening Caitlyn.
Yeah, very threatening Cabochard later on. Just getting his groove on here, farming. It's going to be very hard to harass. Shen did lose a little bit of that sustain, though, with the Vorpal Blade exchange here.
Yeah,
and
a lot of damage.
Cabochard, really good early trade. Gets the level 3 first and makes that really good use of that. Shen not as sustain-y as he used to be. See if it influences the matchup. I think Vitality definitely happy, not only with the standard lanes, but with the start of this game.
Absolutely. If they can get themselves this tempo going forward even further into this game, they can just keep starting to push it forward with the gold lead, the 1 kill advantage that they've got to start these things off and winning lanes across the board. The X factor here for Unicorns, though, is where can Move go? What can he get done on this map in the early game? Where can he find an isolation? Maybe it's this bottom lane where Cabochard's hanging out.
Yeah, pretty much that's the only place. He could go mid here, snare into then just isolation damage. I think is a better approach here. The good cleanse here from Nukeduck coming out, so it'll be kind of a 2-pronged attack. You know, strike first, kill later. wound animal before you hunt down. Hunt. We're not hunting somebody. We're not ghosts.
I'll take your word for it. Police and KaSing, though, they haven't really been able to stop Veritas from farming, but nonetheless, they continue to punish him back and forth. And it becomes that question mark of, like, do you maybe, as a jungler, try to pressure a lane to get it back up ahead? Obviously, Move needs plenty of time to start farming up, but once he hits that 6 mark, does he maybe try to go up there and try to get that lane ahead, or does he say, hey, you know what, the 2v2, they're going to lose, we're still going to have Sivir's utility, and I need to start snowballing the Shen and keeping the Irelia down?
Yeah, Police and KaSing should definitely be challenging more CS here. There shouldn't be just free farm here. Obviously, they haven't cashed into that first blood gold, but they have slight experience lead, and they're not manipulating the waves well enough to kind of punish Veritas and Hylissang. The amount of push they're generating for free here, I guess they're just trading safety. Vitality just want to dodge ganks here and farm on the turret, but not the biggest fan of the laning pattern, but this can also be a choice. We always need to look at the other side of it, you know. Instead of saying, you know, Vitality not winning or as hard as they could, they may trade it off for safety and look to strike when they have more of an awareness of where the enemy jungler is.
We're trying to draw Unicorns into a false sense of security here, dodging out the bubble. Just continue to back and forth it. But yeah, Police is sitting on plenty of gold for a BF sword and some change right now, even though he's only got 6 CS ahead. That kill making up a massive amount of difference. So far, the junglers have really yet to show anywhere, but as we know, jungle pool hit pretty hard. It forced MightyBear onto the Gragas pickup with a little bit later pressure, and Move onto this Kha'Zix hasn't had a whole lot to do either. In the mid lane, of course, is always going to be a little bit slower with Exileh trying to stack his tier on the Ryze. Move is actually spotted, by the way, through the jungle on the ward, so they've got some eyes on where the Void Bug is for now.
Yeah, good pink ward though. Getting spotted, always worth it trading some of these river wards, because now he has pressure.
Speaking of trade, that's a quick Chaos Storm, but it doesn't do nearly enough damage to Exileh.
Nukeduck just wants to base. The amount of minions are up, he knows Exileh can't counter trade, hits 6 first, he knows nothing's gonna happen, he just takes a free base, especially since Move showed and revealed around here. Cabochard is also pulling the lane just a little bit. Definitely does not want to push out at this point. He wants Move to take some camps and move to the other side of the map here. Vitality, however, have started playing super aggressive here. Look at how they're pushing top lane because they have the jungler support and they know that their jungler, the enemy jungler has been spotted in the bot lane.
A little bit of counter jungle action going on from MightyBear. Doesn't secure up the second Krug, but he moves his way lumbering back over to the Raptor pit and just keeps trying to take things away from Move, who's focused so much on this bottom side. But very quiet early game for both the teams, despite the quick first blood in the 2v2.
Yeah, can any of these mid laners not give away the gank here and while still being in range to punish? It's the hard part. Also something that's changed this Sivir matchup just a little bit. She used to get so much mana back from just randomly walking on traps. Still does, so you really want to break that open by continuously refreshing the traps. You have access to more powerful traps right now, so you really want to keep pushing as this Caitlyn, you know? Sivir steps on a trap, go in, play some more, and just deny CS as you want. The push on the minion wave is even more important with the changing playstyle of some of these Caitlyns.
Still hasn't back to base, but he's got a 10 CS advantage. MightyBear still prowling around up top side. Police now moving farther forward to try and contest a little bit of CS, but Veritas is still getting it back, just not for free this time.
This is what we want to see more of, you know, these cheeky little trades here with the Janna shield and play from the brush to get more of those headshot passive stacks, stacking up every time you trade. Again, shield trade, use the maximum value and then back off. You want to whittle them down, but Hylissang has plenty of mana regen, so CS is staying even.
Nukeduck for a second had to throw down the gravity field to stop the Ryze from machine gunning on him, but still not a whole lot of damage early on. Move, he's spotted by the ward, but he's able to clear out nonetheless. Despite it not being a lane swap game, just Australia lanes, we've seen the junglers gravitate towards their own sides, but Move might be caught here. There's the Chaos Storm. He goes invis.
Goes invisible. He's fine. Shen also up in this CS match, or in CS rather, in this matchup against Irelia. Kind of as expected, but it's a bit of a win because the alternative would be Vitality playing in the lane swap, having Cabochard a lot more starved. But right now, any of these top lanes and mid lanes are just so afraid to go aggressive because they don't want to run into Vizicsacsi being ultied in.
And it's still hard to deny Cabochard from farming on this Irelia either. The Blade Surge is just knocking down the minions one by one, but Chachi trading very effectively. KaSing taking a lot of damage from the Tidecaller's Blessing there. And
Vitality really need to get their bot lane to base, because right now the harass isn't strong enough on 2 or 3 autos to counter act the healing from Nami. But if they base and they pick up like BF Pickaxe, then those 2 and 3 autos will not get out-sustained anymore by Hylissang's W. And that's the difference, because Veritas was never firing back. This was a one-way street in terms of harass.
Yeah.
We see 2-way straight here. Vizicsacsi fighting Cabochard.
farming with the Transcendent Blades as well. Chachi still trading well back and forth. But as you mentioned, the BF Sword pickaxe combo. MightyBear is actually going to stop the back from Veritas. Spell Shield does come out of the Sivir, but
that's so big. That could be a tower here because they can just now start pushing up. Caitlyn can clear that wave so quickly, and they can lock Veritas and Hylissang in the top lane. We could actually see them shift to the bottom lane here entirely to just avoid that. I think that wouldn't actually be too bad of a move here if you are Unicorns of Love, because what are you going to do against this item advantage Caitlyn that's just going to shove you in constantly?
Yeah, big item advantage. KaSing, though, he could have been in trouble there. Sends the Howling Gale out nonetheless and starts to move his way up. Actually just crashes the minion wave in, gets a ward down, and now he's right back onto it. They may not get the tower off that, but they will certainly get some serious damage.
Yeah, they just need to keep the wave pushed in here. Vitality needs to manage their mana management a little bit better, though. Police needs to keep his mana for trading, so needs to start pushing on the minion wave already. Teleport coming in, though, here. Unicorns of Left want to shut down this play pattern.
Double! Exileh, he's bringing everyone to the party. They want to make the big move and move around that side. They find KaSing. It's Chachi who gets the kill on that. A quick pickup onto Police as well. And that was a 1-2. How do you do? 5 members of Unicorns collapsing.
Yeah, what a good map read here overall. First of all, mid lane has a TP advantage. Cleanse versus teleport. Cabochard then used this teleport into the bottom lane too, trading that for Vizicsacsi, but Vizicsacsi obviously has his ultimate still available. Double TP advantage, masterfully used to force Vitality to be punished for honestly chasing the win here. They were chasing the lane win in the top lane with the tower.
Oh,
hang on.
Well, Move is going to get out of there the flashy way. Still a lot of damage dealt on this tower. Chachi should be able to clean up and grab the gold from it as everyone else has gone back.
Yeah, we can't stress enough how important this play was to the flow of the game. Chachi obviously used this teleport earlier to get back to the lane, but he can just follow in with Stand United every time his mid laner wants to go somewhere.
So he's able to get it done. And that's the global presence that they have. Let's take a look at how this play all started again. It starts with the teleport, and immediately Exileh has the Stand United on him. So they bring the entire crew, tunnel in onto KaSing, despite the monsoon, take him down. MightyBear just can't do a thing in a 5v3, and Unicorns just...
No, once they were pushed up, it was an impossible situation, and it all goes down to whoever placed that lane ward, facilitating that single/double teleport right there. That was the MVP of that play. Police to start challenging the 2v2. They would win it handily. Right now, actually having a hard time denying Vizicsacsi of some farm here. So Unicorn suddenly in control of the map.
They're going to get themselves first dragon. It's been sitting there for a little while, but there hasn't been much of an opening till now. Unicorns didn't secure that tower, so the gold actually remains close to even, but it's so low at this point. Going to be hard to defend. And Vitality sending 3 members up top to try and contest versus Chachi means this opens the gates, and the dragon is taken. Veritas even gets free time on bot.
And it just leads to an experience advantage, too, for the Unicorns. They're playing on 3 lanes, while Vitality's playing on 2. They lost their dragon as well. Hylissang can't roam very well. Nami is a very inefficient roamer, so he kind of has to hold hands here. It all comes down to how much Vizicsacsi got punished, but he seems to be very even still after that teleport into the top lane, so he can go toe-to-toe with Cabochard.
This is coming from a team that should have been able to do a lot more in all the lanes. Exileh and Nukeduck fighting each other on this. The Chaos Storm, not enough damage, but he sends a laser his way. Nukeduck taking a little bit more than he was able to give, and yeah, despite the laning dominant advantage we really expected out of Vitality, the reality has just been that Unicorns with one big play were able to turn it around.
Yeah, and also this entire play kind of hid move as well, because he's obviously wanting to clear. KaSing does not want to gank early unless somebody truly overextends here. Finished up the warrior here on his jungle bug, and he wants to get a little bit stronger before he can have an impact in the game, whereas Gragas has a very much so earlier spike. Utility in the late game, but he can definitely influence the game in the early game, and MightyBear hasn't really found an opening to do that.
Not just yet, in any case. Exileh and Nukeduck have really done little outside of sitting in this mid lane with the exception of the teleport up top, but that's the difference the global pressure can bring you. Cabochard, he's going to have his teleport available pretty soon, but he's gone back to base anyway, so not a whole lot to get done there. Top tower still very low. Unicorns could make a power move to try and take it down, but for the time being, they're pretty happy just sitting here and waiting by the numbers.
And we're definitely seeing also the return of the Zerker Greaves here on a lot of champions. Both AD carries sporting them again, you know, getting their vintage Zerker Greaves out of the closet. An original collection. Even Power of Evil was sporting the shoes on a... Move got it. He had to steal it away. It's good. MightyBear denies it, at least from Exileh. But yeah, even Power of Evil on his Azir was running Zerker Greaves, I think. So,
yeah,
well, everybody loving their attack speed. Oh, it definitely does.
Yeah. It's definitely coming back into style. Well, Fads do cycle around, especially when it comes down to patches. Chachi and Cabochard trading in the top, but that is a big minion wave. And it's really an auto attack away from taking this tower. Chachi, he might just want to go do it himself. Now the minions will finish the job.
Yeah, left minion, best minion, 2 autos, takes it down. And now Unicorns looking to avoid ganks here from MightyBear. Poised, look for a punish here. He flashes what he wants.
Big move up on Vitality. They get in the shot onto Exileh. Big barrel around the side. Stand United will not finish, and Police snipes him down.
I mean, Exileh. I know we've lowered our expectations here of these teams, and we've talked about how we need to judge them on the fundamentals. When a Gragas walks into your lane, autos your turret, step away from the Gragas. It's like our studio. We have like a do not cross line. That right here, you know, that's a do not cross line. And doesn't matter if you cross it. If you're close enough, MightyBear will just throw you over and force you to cross it. What a big mistake here from Exileh, just throwing away his life.
Definitely costing him. Costing the tower as well. Vitality are able to swing some of that gold back in their favor. It's actually dead even now, 15 minutes into this game. Oh, not just the tower just yet in any case. They were close to it though. And they might be able to collect on it in a few minutes. Still 2-2 in that score.
Yeah, he traded his life for some turret HP, but at this point, I think it's more important that he should have just yielded. Sivir was coming in anyways to help and clear.
Well, things settle down just a little bit on the map, and Unicorns realizing they might be able to make the big plays, but they're also making a few mistakes. The ward in and move will quickly step away from the Cabochard.
Definitely needed here. Triforce spike on Irelia. First item spike already. One of the biggest ones here. Champion that benefits from it so well. New Triforce even better on her, you know. Again, one of those champions that did not value crit at all. Really likes this CDR. More spell combos. Second stun coming out, maybe. Ultimate a little bit shorter cooldown. Very important.
Teleport down to the bottom side. They want to make something happen, but we're still focusing on the mid. Nukeduck, there we go! Exileh once again!
Yeah, no
Can't be
flash.
tangoing with the Police still.
I mean, no flash, stuck on a side lane here, Pyro. What was he doing there? Just, and this is something we've seen, I want to say time and time again, but we've not seen these guys play for 2 weeks. So let's just say time. This is something we've seen time again from Exileh. He always seems to get caught on the side lanes. Has very poor management here. So that is one thing that Unicorns need to fix, or they need to change their approach to the draft. You know, not play a 1-3-1 and look for more 4-1 compositions where Exileh has a safety net of his team.
He still had the safety net. Maybe not on that occasion, but the last time we saw it happen, he got caught out. Still with the stand United, wasn't enough to save his life. Now moved back into his own jungle where he thinks it's safe, but suddenly out of the brushes comes the Gragas. The rest of Vitality move, but they can't quite get to him in time. Still got some free hits on that bottom tier 2. Nukeduck will actually find move, or it's move that finds Nukeduck. Goes in Viz, gravity field, in comes the wave, flashes into the monsoon. And they're right back at it. Cabochard trying to move away from that, and now Veritas. He had the ace in the hole, but he had a spell shield to block it, and that will be the non-aggression for now.
Yeah, multiple mind games here. Nukeduck luring around the corner with the ward, standing in vision too, so move jumping over here, trying to surprise him. Suddenly Nukeduck, the hunter, became the prey here, and Exileh overextended that really good ward there in the middle of the lane, and that's what these bot lanes want to do. If you're playing against some of these range supports, you should expect them to be there. Whereas the melee supports very often were roaming. These range supports have very limited roam impact, like a Janna and a Nami can't run into a wave, so they have to linger and kind of hold their AD carry's hand. In doing so, a lot of the vision, instead of being put very deeply, will be centered in the lanes here for teleport wards, so you always have to be extremely wary of overextending in an area where the support could have warded previously, should somebody teleport behind you.
That's something Exileh definitely found out once again. We'll have to keep an eye on him, as no doubt Vitality will, to see if they can get any more easy picks. For the time being, Chachi, though, does get himself the Rift Herald buff, Glimpse of the Void in his pocket to deal with the side pushes from Cabochard. As you can see, that already going down in the top side. Didn't even bother to back once it was done. Or rather, yeah, didn't even bother to back once it was done. Next Drake hits the Rift. It's a Cloud Dragon, so we can expect the teams to be a little bit more judicious about trying to set up any quick plays on that. Bale comes out, spotting a few Unicorns. Move actually stepping far forward, but there's nothing here to take. MightyBear is safe.
There's vision, and vision is always the first setup. Even vision somewhere that's not close to you can still influence the play around you on the map. You don't spot somebody left side, you can go aggressive right side. Information is key here. River control is the first step to controlling the map here, so that's what we're doing right now aggressively. Nukeduck is the only player that's still above the mythical 10 CS per minute limit. He's farming Storm. hoping to make that Storm just a little bit stronger too.
Maybe a bit more chaotic. He's been dropping them whenever he gets the opportunity. Still, no flash here. Has to be careful, pushing far up on his own and working his way towards that Ryze for a little bit of extra slowdown.
Yeah, and that's so important for Viktor, who obviously is referred very often to as a control mage. It just adds another element of control, especially if you look at what Vitality are doing here. Their siege comp that they have built, this is more 4-1. We were talking earlier about how the Ryze was playing on a 1-3-1. Vitality won a group 4 in the mid lane, traps up with Caitlyn, disengage from Janna, engage/disengage from MightyBear, and then control mage Nukeduck, who can move in between those lines here, and then maybe Cabochard wants to join. Worst case, he cancels Vizicsacsi. So that's the preferred mid-game pattern here for Vitality, and they want to get that tower.
Unicorns, they managed to get one big collapse on, but the question is, can they pull that off again to prevent that siege? Vitality still looking very safe in the way that they've drafted this composition. If they can play that out, if they can execute to that T, they won't have too much to worry about from these Unicorns. And it's so important for both these teams to try and grab at least one more point, but to get a whole 3 climbs them back out of the bottom of the standings.
Yeah, look at the prioritization on farm here too. That massive wave that just got pushed into the bottom lane. Police could have easily taken that. But Vitality, they're going to move their 4-1 to having their strongest member in the bottom lane, because obviously Baron is coming online right now.
And so is the wave. Nukeduck, he's just stepped outside of it, but in comes Exileh. They want to start this fight real hot and heavy. In comes a Chaos Storm, and 3 Vitality members are zoned off, but Chachi is now isolated. Turn their attention to Cabochard, and Exileh will not go down. Taunts in onto MightyBear, and he can't go anywhere. 2 quick kills for Unicorns.
And because the Unicorns started that fight, it ended up being Cabochard and Vizicsacsi fulfilling similar roles in the fight.
Oh, they go for more!
Busy. Oh,
Nukeduck and a reset on the move. That's a tower. That's dessert for the Kha'Zix. They're starting to roll on this one.
Oh, that was beautiful. Zero hesitation. Taunt flash here from Vizicsacsi, showing mastery on that Shen. Going back to the fight, though, Vizicsacsi did such a great job kind of being the frontline 4 versus 1. Vitality couldn't punish him, whereas Cabochard, he tried to deal the damage, but he was melting a lot quicker, you know, different roles. Irelia is, in essence, an assassin in these fights, whereas Shen is a tank. Take a look for that and then see how it all started here. Also, very late on the trigger here. The fight's going off for 2-3 seconds before this teleport comes in. A lot of these damage spells have been used defensively. Cabochard is soaking up damage and dying for it. Vizicsacsi soaking up damage, not dying for it. Gets 1 kill with a taunt and is then looking to go for another taunt flash here on Nukeduck. Again, this is what we talked about in the previous series too. Using predictable movement. Nukeduck wants to kind of move up for a bit of a laser here to thin out the wave. Instant reaction for Vizicsacsi. Good read, and honestly, very well played by the Unicorns.
And that's cohesion that they're looking to execute the wombo combo that they have in their back pocket. Move was crucial in that fight, knocking himself down, another kill. And now, with the way that they've shown their fights to be, Vitality have to play this out so carefully when they're in a 5v5 situation.
Vitality learned a lot right there, and one of the things they take away from that fight is that they have to be scared, because now Maul of Malmortius is finished on the move. And with that ultimate, he will be a pesky little bug to deal with. Bubble goes on KaSing. Doesn't look like there's a follow-up. But he can kind of jump on Nukeduck, and Nukeduck will have a very hard time dealing with him because the Viktor all-in burst won't be enough. And while he's recharging for this next rotation of spells, he may just drop to move single-handedly.
Yep, and the big weak point on the Unicorns really had been Exileh, and despite him getting caught in the side lanes, as we see him sitting inside once again, he's starting to come online. Seraph's Embrace finish, 10 stacks on his Rod of Ages. Chachi and Cabochard, I mean, these guys will be 1v1 until the day's over, pretty much.
Yeah, but as this matchup evolves, it becomes a clear win for Vizicsacsi here. Cabochard is slightly behind 2 in gold, 400 gold, but also just in the terms of how the matchup plays out. Defensive items just generally just win out, you know, in terms of efficiency in a 1v1 matchup. Especially a champion like Shen. It's going to be impossible for Cabochard to 1v1 that right now.
Yeah, and not to mention Chachi still got Glimpse of the Void for, you know, another minute or 2. That's still helping him out all across the board. Big wave comes out, and in comes Move! However, he can't get enough damage for the execution. That's a Stand United coming in, looking for something. It won't be enough.
Yeah, they definitely need to do these fights with Ryze involved or chainland their CC here. The optimistic play here by Unicorns, but at least they recognize to get out of the play here in time.
And it gives Exileh some free time.
Yeah.
On the tower, just continuing. Poke away at it. Continuing to do that 1-3-1, but they've got so much global pressure. They have so many options. Unicorns, they're in a power move for the time being, but if Vitality can stop them, where do they need to begin? Their 5v5 just isn't strong enough.
I mean, it boils down to the way the fight's supposed to play out. Look at the tools that Vitality have available here. One of them is obviously KaSing on the Janna. exhausting one key target and resetting some of these hops in fights. Imagine if Vizicsacsi and Move both jump in and get reset by Monsoon. Suddenly the fight turns out differently. So protecting the backline in the forward part of the composition while allowing Cabochard to wait, buy this time, and then look to assassinate either Ryze or Sivir. That's kind of the way Vitality want to win these fights. Problem is somebody needs to buy this time for them. That's going to be MightyBear. So he needs to soak up damage while hopefully Nukeduck and Police position well enough with the help of KaSing. Yeah, to just look for an opening, you know, pick off a single target and then snowball the fight from there.
Well, we'll get to put that theory to the test. This game is definitely not lacked for action. Still, lead in the favor of Unicorns. They have 2,000 gold ahead, but that might change, except for Veritas. Does not get knocked back, and MightyBear is left holding the empty barrel.
Yeah,
That'll be the disengage.
Still a good opening here, though. Vizicsacsi still on cooldown, so I like the aggression for Vitality. A well-timed spell shield from Veritas holds on to his flash, too.
Move is going to be able to get some clear vision out here. Next dragon is a minute and a half away. It is the Mountain Drake, so Unicorns will have their sights set on that extra tower burn. With the 1-3-1, they've really been able to put a hurt on the side lanes of Vitality.
Also, if we go farther into this game, if there's any like 2 carries you want to have in like a 2-carry composition, while Cabochard is stuck in the bot lane, Viktor, Caitlyn, so good at zone controls and kind of eating away at the front line. So they have plenty of damage, especially once Cabochard comes into their fray. So Unicorns do need to be always careful, unless it's Vizicsacsi that's taking that damage, because any other member can drop in an instant.
That is true. And with the likes of Exile on the front lines, the longer this game goes on, combined up with the Sivir, their team fight will just still be pretty damn deadly, and you always have to watch for the threat of the Kha'Zix. It's a very binary champion, but if you can't get the quick exhaust on in time, the bug jumps all over you. That damage is just disgusting.
That's why you always carry 2 pink wards. You play 1 for the map, 1 for the Kha'Zix. Play against a Rengar, 2 pink wards if you're a support. 1 for the map, 1 for the Rengar. Hopefully your teammates buy them too, but there's one thing that life teaches us is that nobody else except you will buy the pink ward.
Yep, I've constantly had to spend the extra 150 gold as an AD carry whenever I get the Rengars and Kha'Zix in my game. Learn that lesson the hard way. It's a tough time to be an ADC for sure. Unicorns still trying to push and pressure in all the lanes at once, but they don't have anything pushing except in the mid and the bottom. Top lane, Exile's kind of sitting there, but this is just enough time for them to start off on the Mountain Dragon, and Vitality are none the wiser to this. This will be a second one essentially for free.
I mean, I think they can infer. It's like, these guys just disappeared for a while. I wonder where they are. We don't see them on Baron, we don't see them in any lane, but at this point they're just so afraid to face check, because there's always a looming threat of walking to the enemy here. They have the defensive trap wall. Veritas.
Oh, quick flash.
Have to flash out of there. Slightly overextended into challenging that wave. Flash for a dragon here is a trade.
Chachi's still able to push on the bottom side, met by Cabochard. The rest of Vitality starting to back off. And there's no one up in top.
Yeah.
So Exile, as Police comes in, he'll be making his escape, actually waiting to see if he can get a catch on.
Yeah, he wants to. Police should trap this rush.
Oh, there's the Root Prison! Machine Gun Ryze is coming for you! Forces the flash.
Yeah, that is just honestly a mistake. You always check your brushes if you're an AD carry moving there. And that's a really good point you bring up there. Nobody is there. It's because Vitality is playing the 4-1 composition. They want 4 in the mid lane, 1 in the side lane, and then they have to like draw straws. And the shorter straw goes into the side lane and has to deal with that Ryze here. Unicorns making use of their 1-3-1 again. They seem to be very set on making it work. It didn't work with the Yasuo. Right now they're trying with the Ryze.
Certainly not enough damage. We get further along into this game, approaching the 28-minute mark. And you can just see the way that Unicorns have been able to control the map. That Exile just walks right out of the jungle, right under MightyBear's big nose.
Yeah, and both teams are kind of struggling because the game is so close to really get definitive Baron vision control. And that's sort of the game down at this point. All others are down. We're dealing with a 1-3-1 that is pressuring but being held. There's no waves or no wards being cleared in between the lanes, allowing for picks. They're attempting that right now, but Vitality is aggressively defending that. So we're playing what's the opposite of Blitz chess? I guess normal chess, where there's no timer on the moves. You're not forced to react very quickly.
Take your time, make the calculated play. Unicorns have been looking a little bit better in that. The gold doesn't tell the whole story, despite the fact that they have a 2,000 advantage. It's really been on their dragon control. A pair of Mountain Drakes. They have the extra damage versus towers.
Yeah, you can look at the pressure shifting too here. You know, Vitality challenging mid turret, but then realizing the wave's gone, so they have to go back to the top lane tower to deal with that. Ryze realizes that. He's like, you know what? I have I have some vision, but there's 2 pink wards from Vitality in the jungle. Can't challenge. Fog of War. Back off again. This is why these games slow down, because people are respecting vision. It's very easy for us to maybe see an opening where somebody can take a step farther, but obviously these guys are limited by their information. And with limited wars, there's a lot of information they have to infer. They have to guess to see what's going on.
But to see them respect the amount of damage that can come out of this Vitality squad, despite how well they're moving ahead, how much they're controlling the map, it shows the Unicorns, they're not just making opportunistic plays, they're planning a little bit more ahead. Yes, it's slowed down, but they're keeping the pressure in their favor. They're slowly growing their lead, and maybe there's no timer on the chest, but you know, Baron's on the Rift. They've got options available to them if they want to pull the trigger. They've got enough global pressure to do it too.
Yeah, both these teams also have a wealth of late game here. If you're running a Caitlyn Viktor comp, you're like, you know what, we're fine in late game. But then if you look at what Unicorns of Love bring to the table here, Sivir late game team fights Ryze is probably the most fantastic late game carries, and then your jungler kind of scales better damage wise. MightyBear will become an unkillable tank. So both these teams quite equal in the late game. So no rush there either. Unicorns of Love looking to repeat maybe their play that got them this far ahead, the teleport with the Shen piggyback.
The big plays have been in their forte, but it's not this time to be, as MightyBear is the one who rushed in, and he only succeeds in knocking Unicorns all the way back. Still, the side push is on. Continually, Exileh is just shepherding these waves into the tower.
But he doesn't have any wards. That's the thing about Exileh right now. He's struggling to have like vision, because he always needs to back up. He can never hit this tower. He can push in the minions. So yeah, he denies some CS here.
Dangerous
Be
game.
careful right now, actually. Yeah, he knows he has to get
He's
the
just
hell
going to
out
walk
of
it out.
Like, look at the vision here for Unicorns of Love aggressively. There's nothing into the enemy jungle. And Hylissang kind of needs to, if he wants to get that vision control, he needs to base place the wards, base again, get more, and then use those Mobi boosts to just keep running, you know? He's like a courier bringing wards in every time and just not participating in the game. Because it's so hard to efficiently play 1-3-1 while junglers are no longer running double sidestone.
Especially into the wave clear that Vitality are bringing. You know, you talked about the carries where they need to be, the Viktor Caitlyn, but they're able to just shove these waves back time and time again. Cabochard's not slouching on this. Despite Vizicsacsi looking more powerful, it's not really equaling out in terms of damage to the turret. Cabo's been able to defend fine. So yeah, Vitality aren't in any trouble right now as we get slight visual glitch.
Yeah, we're going to the Matrix here.
Yeah, don't blink, you missed it.
Oh, you blinked. Don't blink, guys. Else our
back to our regularly scheduled game.
Yep. Vitality strength in numbers here, controlling from the middle. Move looking for a flank, running into vision again.
Speaking of flanks, yeah. Move. This tower should go down pretty soon. There's still a lot of wave clear on the side of the Unicorns. And that will be finally taken out. Vitality's persistence pays off, and Unicorns, they may want to make a power play on this top side, but the rest of Vitality are coming in droves back.
And this is one of the games, Pyra, where you keep talking about, you know, pressure carrying on from one lane to the other, talk a little bit about vision, you know, attempted picks that fail, and suddenly some team will just randomly start Baron, take it. Because you get so used to just, okay, this guy's moving here, this guy's moving here, get a little bit of vision here, and then suddenly, guys, why didn't we ward Baron Pit? Where are they? And then you hear the ever so familiar roar of a dying Baron.
Unicorns, knowing this, might want to just try to get the flank on themselves. In comes the Nami wave, and Move is right behind it, hunting down for police, but MightyBear's on the front line. He's denied the damage from the rest of the team, throws the big barrel, and pushes them back. They haven't found the kill for the teleport expended.
Yeah, they did find Cabochard's teleport, though. They traded TPs, but now Exileh can start on the side lane, and this is where Unicorns can start using their map advantage here. I think it's wise for them to start moving into 4-1 of their own, because they didn't have enough vision or split push pressure or flanks really to make the 1-3-1 work. The whole premise of 1-3-1 in the old days was to get down the turrets in the 1v1 matchups. That's no longer possible in a lot of these matchups. Then the whole premise shifted to push side lanes and flank the middle lane, but because Vitality was playing much better vision game, that no longer was possible. So perhaps it is wiser for Unicorns to shift into a 4-1 composition of their own, trade teleports favorably like they did just now, and then just switch the players. Instead of Shen on the bottom lane, you get Ryze on the bottom lane. But in all that explanation, we've missed the Baron window.
4,000, it's going all the way down. Move is here, he's got Stand United, but it's way too late. Knocked away by the Monsoon, and that's denied.
That's exactly what I mean. Like, you just keep talking about the game and what if, and then they're gonna do this, and 1v1, 4-1, and then suddenly, everybody bases, team goes Baron, KaSing, really beautiful reset there, canceling the hop. Honestly, Move should flash in. If you want to go for the steal, you need to flash in, hop out. You never hop in against Janna because it's such an easy telegraph and you disrespect your opponent by thinking she won't cancel you.
Reward for Vitality, grabbing that Baron. Cabochard will just get hopped up on the wave. He's going to flash out after being taunted, but Unicorns, they had to settle for the Consolation Dragon instead. Trying to make some plays on the bottom side, but they can't even peck away at the tower. Now move.
In the mid lane though, Pyra, lingering Viktor is just pushing in with the Baron creeps. Vitality looking to capitalize on that honestly gifted Baron.
It's going to be the tower. Vitality able to secure it on their own 4-1. And now Unicorns trying to collapse around, but it's obviously too late to stop the damage. Still a big wave up in the top side. If Vitality can get there in time to take it down, they've got the power play, and they've started to swing the gold in their favor.
Stop the bleeding in the bottom lane, push in the mid lane, and then use that momentum to go top end. No vision here, Hylissang.
Oh, his health bar, that melted all the way down to nothing. And move after that, a double kill for Cabo. Stand United looked like it was on him.
Yeah, maybe used earlier, I think.
You're right.
Quite a long cooldown. It wouldn't have mattered regardless, though. This is a triple carry composition. Two of them were present, including MightyBear's flash, body slam, and suddenly, out of nowhere, this slow game involves Vitality getting the Baron, 2 picks, inhibitor, 2 towers, 3 actually in total. What a turnaround.
Woo! That's a very worth Baron Nashor, that's for sure. 35 minutes and this game's been busted wide on open. It had been a 5,000 gold swing. Let's see this kill again.
I mean, Hylissang, you can't take the short route here. This is no longer your jungle. Vitality's like, your jungle? My jungle.
That was the Ghostblade pop that I mistook for Shen ulti.
Ghostblade comes out.
Very chaotic.
Cabochard, you know, looking for a build that just looks to assassinate. He's not building to duel Shen here, by all means. He just wants to survive in the Shen lane and then get rid of some of the carries on the other side of the team.
By the way, I was wrong again. It was Mob on Mortia's shield. Anyways, we're 5-5 on the kills.
Do not dwell on the past.
Yeah, I know. I gotta move. Well, Unicorns can't dwell on it either. Because at this point, they need full damage control. They have minions, can start pushing into the top, so they've sent Exileh to deal with it, headed off at the pass yet again. Pretty much where he's been a good chunk of the game. And that's going to kind of open up this bottom side. It's already down 7 towers now to 4 in favor of Vitality. They're looking oh so strong.
They just have so much time. These minions, that's the biggest thing. Baron buff is no longer about the stats, it's all about the minion boost. And it just allows you to whack away at the turrets because the wave clear is removed as an option. Traps on the right side, just in case somebody jumps. Preemptive healing from KaSing would have reset an instant engagement move. And because they didn't swing at the first opportunity, Vitality with a controlled fight here, right off. Teleport on your left side.
Wave tickles, Move tried to get the flank on, but he couldn't do anything at all, and those headshots are really starting to sting. 2 fronts, Unicorns trying to flank, trying to find the fight onto Vitality, but they are losing the battle for the base already. Vitality just sticking together as a unit, making sure that they can't get isolated, cut off from the pack.
Oh, they lost the Baron creep.
And big barrel only knocked him sideways on the hunt, popped from Sivir, but Vitality, look at how fast they're able to turn on a dime and just escape from danger.
Man, this Runal's interaction with these traps is just like your bolts become so long range. So if anybody steps into a team into a trap in a team fight, this guy right here is gonna be like, yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about. Step onto the traps, probably in French. That's definitely what you want. Like the long range auto attack with the Renon's bolts is the way Caitlyn wins these fights in the late game.
Vitality, Sean's especially, have to be pretty happy with this, considering where this team has been this split so far, falling so far from grace, and this is starting to show a little bit more faith in the changes that they made to their roster. It's only one game, we can't judge too much, as Move takes a little more damage than he's able to dish back out. Vitality really keeping the perseverance to get themselves back into this game.
Yeah, and I like the build from KaSing too, because MightyBear is likely to play in a different area of the fight, engaging or dropping first, so secondary Aegis is picked up, and then it's turned into a Banner of Command. And with the Baron buff, it actually did a lot of work here. Super Free is being buffed up. Right now, Vizicsacsi is kind of singled out. A bold prediction here, but may not make it out alive.
Unstealthiest ninja, he's gonna be able to taunt to freedom until police shuts him down. Even more pressure now added to this bottom side. They've left Nukeduck on the side lane, or on the mid lane, I should say. This is going to be a forfeited inhibitor. 38.5 minutes. Vitality plowing into this base. Move comes in, takes a huge bite out of Nukeduck. Maybe they can find something here. It's going to be Move that secures the kill. Veritas took a lot of damage for his trouble, and now a teleport coming in for Cabochard.
Yeah,
will not
really
result in
like that
anything.
move here from the jungler from Unicorns. Jumps in aggressively. Right now, he's the one that's getting jumped on though. Heal comes out. You really need to isolate the carries, especially when you're down in numbers disadvantage. However, it's still 4v4 Pyro because Shen dropped earlier.
Didn't really matter for Vitality to have to back away. They got themselves what they came there for. Elder Dragon spawning 45 seconds. The base of the Unicorns of Love is in shambles.
In shambles, but they at least have one teleport available here. So whereas they could have straight up lost the game here, they have a window where at least Vitality can slip up, make a mistake. The gold is only 5,000 apart here. One guy can hold the waves. The Stand United comes up a little bit. Could be a reaction here.
Chachi lived a while.
Makes it out. Yeah, very close. And then here, Nukeduck, this is just hubris, you know, just too far up. Overconfident. 2 carries. Look at how quick he drops. Uses his flash too. This is big for whatever happens in the next few minutes here because it's completely stalled the push. Because if Vitality are allowed to set into motion their game plan, set up like they're doing right now, they can win fights almost uncontested. So Unicorns of Love, they're looking for a surprise.
Yeah, and they can make a lot bigger use of the Elder Dragon if they're able to secure it. Vitality will look to deny it away from them as well as give themselves a little bit of extra burn to try and push in the final. It's going to be started here by Vitality. Inhibitor respawns back up in the top for Unicorns, where they still got Chachi on damage control. The Unicorns are looking for a pickoff here, but Cabochard pops his Ghost Blade for the speed boost. In goes on the hunt, looking for a contest on the Dragon. In comes the wave. They look for Nukeduck. Dragon still under fire here, turning their attention to finish the job. Dragon now, chaos inside the pit as they try to secure this one. But the rest of Vitality still in the back. It's going to be a might fight. Who takes it? It's got it. The Unicorns get the Dragon, and now can they take the fight? They've got to back away.
Oh, Unicorns really good entry point into that fight. Like, it's back to it because there's more action.
Yep, Chachi, he stepped a little far forward trying to get the taunt off. Might end up giving his life. As a result, MightyBear will fall finally at the end of it all. And Exileh and Hylissang, they're the only ones left to defend this base.
Yeah, can they hold? Probably not here, but I really like the way Unicorns approach that fight. Going from the mid lane, isolating one of the lone carries, zoning him, and then stepping into the one path that wasn't trapped up. But they lose too many members in the process here. Third inhibitor going down, barring the one that spawned in the top lane, so 2 down right now. And flash from MightyBear, no follow-up.
Clutch having the Guardian Angel was not worth the trade from Vizicsacsi in the end.
They're gonna
hold the line here.
3
Looks
seconds.
like they got it.
Denied Elder Dragon. Baron's on the map. 1 inhibitor here, so wrong prioritization for Vitality. They were looking for the close instead of securing 3rd inhibitor. So we are in a similar position as we were earlier, where there was 2 inhibs on the map. Vitality had clear access to Elder, but they lost it. A 4 Dragon Elder buff here on the side of Unicorns of Love. If they get any access to this Baron Asher, it's going to drop incredibly fast.
Unicorns, that's what they're looking for. No bones about it. They jump right into the pit. Don't even
it.
bother to clear the vision just yet. And this is going to prompt a swift reaction
Look
from
for tidal
Vitality.
wave.
No teleport. They need the tidal wave. Zoning away Nukeduck and MightyBear. Bubble follows.
gone.
Baron's already gone.
But now,
Can they get out? Oh, super minions. That's all Vitality need right now. The fight's on to see if they can keep zoning them away. They've separated Exileh. Chachi from the pack. Move, an auto attack. We'll finish him off. Police gets a big kill, and a double comes in for Cabochard, popping the Guardian Angel of Exile. And this might be all said and done. They got the Baron, but they paid the price.
they paid the price. They were so preoccupied whether they could take the Baron that they never stopped to think whether they should. They had an entry plan. But the heist, you know, you gotta know how to make it out of the bank, Pyra, after you steal the money. They were trapped in the pit here. They got taken down. Ace right now. Vitality looking to clean up game 1.
43 minutes into the game. It's been a lot of twists and turns, but Unicorns did not guard their base, did not guard their victory to turn it all around. Vitality take a well-earned one.
Yeah, definitely interesting turn of events here later in the game. Vitality with some crisp shot calling, getting that first Baron that really spiraled everything out of control. Before that, it was quite a tedious mid-game, let's be honest.
Tedious is definitely one way to put it.
Looking
Got
for
very slow. Both teams trying to play for that late game where they were all powerful.
Yeah.
There's always a certain word.
looking for different objectives here as we describe these mid-games, you know.
Yeah.
You know, strategize, you know, well thought out, you know, respecting their opponent.
5v5, YOLO right in the middle, but they had the teleports. Unicorns definitely made that game very interesting.
Yeah.
And considering where these two teams are at the bottom of the table, Was very impressed with them stepping up against relative to one another at the very least.
Some parts.
Yeah.
There was obviously
On the
some
other hand,
missteps. We can also look at the first misstep here is how the first spot came to be.
Let's
We
roll down.
talk about, you know, lane swaps, you know, are they going to happen? And this is, for me, a very interesting phase in the game. Because if you're put in this position as an AD carry, it is now your biggest test is not to make it out alive. It's just to not tilt. Because you walk back to the lanes, like, they won't be in this brush, right? But some part of you thinks about it. And then this happens, you know, W start from KaSing. Veritas, very late right there in his approach. And yeah, I lean in closer to watch his
It was very riveting.
He was dead.
And once the exhaust was on him, he should have known he wasn't going to get out of there alive. He saved his flash, but used the summoner heal.
Should have flashed out earlier. The second you just get bolts in your face, you flash. Instant reaction. Like, if you're getting caught right there, just respect the fact that your opponent could probably kill you.
Yeah, and speaking of respecting and maybe not respecting the double teleport pressure, there was also that play that happened up top. We'll go ahead and roll out that a little bit later on in the game. It all starts with Exileh saying, hey,
yeah,
there's a ward in the back of the pit, and I'm bringing friends to the party.
Yeah, this was set up in advance here. I was actually initially talking about how Unicorns should shift their 2v2 to the, or two-man roster to the bot lane because they were going to lose 2v2 straight up, but they said, you know what, 2v2 we may lose, but 5v2 definitely going to win this play. Double teleport, piggyback Shen. Cabochard had just expending his teleport too, so that was a fantastic counter move from Unicorns that got them back into the game.
That's definitely true, but the course definitely dragged on quite a bit. Now, Cabo, he's the one who started getting the team a little bit back ahead when he picked up that double kill a little bit later on. We'll take a look at how that one happened.
Yeah, and this was just good rotational play here from Vitality. On the back of this Baron buff, they stopped the bleeding in the bot lane. Nukeduck just took tier 1 in mid. He shows himself top. One of the carries shows. Usually you feel some sort of safety here, but you can't overextend when you don't see Irelia. She's so good at punishing people that are face-taking combined with the Gragas.
Yep.
It's also one of the reasons why we were talking about how strong the 2v2 would be in top lane. Irelia Gragas, a wealth of CC and damage.
Yeah, it was just so ridiculous once we got into that late game stage, shredding through the health bars. Those were admittedly a couple of squishy champions, but Kha'Zix even going a more defensive route, and it really didn't make too much of a difference. All the same, that game had a lot of back and forth. It was like a roller coaster of action.
And I think that's the one thing we need to take away from this, back and forths. We don't have a clear victor of the series in mind just yet. It could easily go for both a draw and a series win here for Vitality. But Vitality as a team, I feel, have a potentially higher ceiling than this Unicorns of Love roster. So in terms of getting the better teams up in the standings, I would like them to see 2-0 here. But it should also be a test for them, because if you can't 2-0 this Unicorns of Love roster, this is kind of your... These are...
Your main competition.
Yeah, it's one, your main competition, and kind of your training weights. Let's be honest here. Unicorns of Love, not that impressive in the league. So we can't judge them on everything. They're obviously still in the building phase, but if you are a playoff contender, you need to sweep these series.
Yeah, and Unicorns, you know, they're just looking for anything they can grab after that loss, and they've only had a one impressive-looking performance against a very struggling Origin squad a little while ago. But
good timing for them.
Yeah,
if they meet the current iteration of Origin, I don't think Exileh can go off on his LeBlanc like he did in that series and get them, you know, the 3 points.
Yeah, but either way, something different will happen, right? Because Vitality have only ever drawn, and if they draw again, well, then it means Unicorns get a tie, and they get to experience Europe's favorite result.
Obviously.
Speaking them, talking in the back.
Look at that tie.
Going over the game plan once again.
Is that one of our ties?
Did Sheepy borrow our tie today?
I think we also own a similar tie. It's a decent knot, though. Sheepy does love his ties.
Yeah, right now, he's definitely got his mind on something else. Just trying to make sure he's going to get his team right back on the right track. It's definitely been a rough start for the Unicorns. By the way, just to update you guys on the action over